still don't have a tie for today.
Thanks, Phil.
Did you ever get a tie? You don't wear a tie.
The council meeting for Monday, October 5th, 2015. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Alder Wood.
Here.
Alder Spate.
Here.
Alder O'Connor. Here. Alder Holmquist.
Here.
Alder Thomas.
Here.
Alder Bussey.
Here.
Mayor Miller.
Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes of the September 21st meeting? So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Are there any corrections or deletions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The minutes have been approved. In the appearances section, I'm proud to provide a proclamation recognizing Monona High School teacher Juan Botea on being named a finalist for the 2015 Presidential Awards for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching. Mr. Botea, if you could join me at the podium, please. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like to share the proclamation that states, whereas Monona Grove High School teacher Mr. Juan Botea has been named one of 6 Wisconsin finalists for the 2015 Presidential Awards for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching. And whereas the Presidential Awards for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching, established by Congress in 1983, is one of the nation's highest honors for mathematics and science teachers. And whereas nominees must show mastery of mathematics or science content, use of appropriate instructional methods and strategies, effective use of student assessments to evaluate, monitor, and improve student learning, reflective practice and lifelong learning to improve teaching and student learning, and leadership in education outside the classroom. And whereas Mr. Botea and the other finalists will now be judged at the national level by a committee organized by the National Science Foundation. The panel may select one teacher of mathematics and one of science from each state and 4 U.S. jurisdictions to receive presidential awards. In addition to recognition and professional development events in Washington, D.C., winners receive $10,000 and a citation signed by the President. Now therefore, be it resolved that I, Robert E. Miller, Mayor, and on behalf of the City Council, hereby commend Mr. Juan Botea on this distinct honor and recognize him as an inspiration to his students, a model for his colleagues, and a leader in the improvement of science education. Signed, the City of Monona, this 5th day of October 2015. Mr. Botea, congratulations. Care to share how you achieved such heights of glory?
Well, thank you to the City of Monona for this proclamation. It's a very big honor for me. And I'm very excited to be, as you said, one of the finalists for this year's award. It might take 2 years for us to know if I win it or not, because in July they announced the winners of 2013, so we'll be patient. And I'm very happy to receive, to be a finalist right now, and I see this as a progress report of my teaching. I recognize that to be a good teacher you have to work hard every day, and if I were to win this award I still need to work hard every day, because the students of tomorrow will not care if I win today or not. I need to be there for them. So this tells me that I'm in the right path, and I'll keep working for the rest of my career on improving my craft. Thank you.
Thank you. Proud to have you as part of the school district. Thank you very much. Now it's time to go to McDonald's, right? Thank you. How neat. Now we will move into the public hearing section, of which we don't have, but we do have appearances. And so I'll just pick up the first one. Mr. Ryan Devine, 5708 Winnequa Trail, would like to speak. if you'd come up to the podium regarding lights at the park behind Winnequa Road. Welcome. We televise you, so there's millions of people watching, but don't be nervous.
So I just wanted to come in and start a dialogue about the new shelter that was built, I believe almost a year ago at this point, behind Winnequa Trail. When they put that shelter up, they affixed some LED lights on the peripheral of the building on the back that shine and pretty much illuminate that entire back area, including the backyards of all of the houses that sit behind it and like are very, very bright. So bright that if you are standing on the other side of the road on Winnequa Trail in the houses that are set at that park, you can see the lights shining up, kind of illuminating in that general area. I apologize. It's on Winnequa Trail. There's that new park or the
Oneida Park.
Oneida Park.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Nope, that's
and while I'm very happy with the development of that area, and happy that my house is on that, it is a little bit of a nuisance that, essentially we have to keep our blinds shut at night because it lights up our bedroom. And I've received similar complaints from my neighbors who live across the street who can't even see the park but can see the shelter and the lights kind of emanating from it, and they've all said very similar things. And I'm not really sure what my options are. I tried calling the park department, and they said there wasn't really a whole lot that they could do about the lights. And I'm not trying to be difficult, but I just kind of want to understand what my options are. One of the reasons why I love living in Monona is that it's quiet, and it's, I should be able to kind of sit out on my back deck in the middle of summer and not really feel like I've got spotlights. And
Nope. So I'll ask staff to follow up with Public Works, and there might,
Would be parks or
parks.
Parks, it's not.
Parks, yeah. Parks are meeting tomorrow night.
I would go.
Since you had so much fun coming tonight,
Mhm.
I would highly suggest if you could appear before the Parks Committee tomorrow evening.
Sure.
Yeah,
Alder Spate chairs that.
Okay.
And you can
that
bring
would be at
to-
6:30 tomorrow night over at the community center.
Okay.
But wouldn't Public Works get involved with lumen measurements and things?
Well, no, I don't think so. Actually, it's plan as much as
or
it
plan?
is.
Somebody, there's got to be something about how much light should be escaping. So
Well-
there's a balance between security and.
Yeah,
and,
But we are
convenience.
always, Plan Commission is always cognizant of when you build a commercial building about not having the spillover of
Light.
lights on residential properties and how you focus the lights. And so there should be something they can,
I would hope
Right.
so.
And I think the major difference between this park and some of the other parks are that these have the new LED lights on them, as opposed to some of the other parks don't have those LED lights. So they're just brighter in general, and they don't have that kind of soft light that are in
I would
part
hope they
of
could
it.
be shuttered.
Yeah, they could, if they could be shuttered or.
That's
Uh,
some kind of a bevel.
Directional.
So that it's still for security. Our concern is for.
And I understand that. I
But
think.
I hear you.
Yeah, I appreciate
I
it.
have a neighbor who keeps her lights on all
Doesn't it just drive you nuts?
the time, so I can totally
and
appreciate
so I can look into my neighbor's house.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have one additional speaker, Patricia Schneider, 3722 Bussey Street, would like to speak regarding the East Side Club concerts. Patricia, welcome.
Thank you for giving me the time to speak. My name is Pat Schneider, and I live at 3722 Bussey Street, 1 block from the East Side Club. I'm here to ask you to place some conditions on the East Side Club's use of its property for open-air rock concerts, which are too loud and too frequent. 1. Please note that the with what they're calling the Sunset Music Series and other events. I know there was 8 concerts under that Sunset brand and other events. I think there's been about a dozen amplified music events this past summer. And this is a residential area. Across Atwood Monona Drive is all houses. Immediately next to them are apartment buildings. This is a residential area. I mean, is there any other entity in Monona that's allowed to have this kind of frequency of outdoor concerts? Is there any other residential area that is subjected to something like this? On September 24, I called the Monona police that night to report the noise from this amplified bass. I don't know, recent music you might have noticed or not. Very heavy bass, and this particular band also had this like electronic twist to it. I mean, it shook the neighborhood. It reverberated, and it just was not bearable. The police officer who responded agreed and required that the volume be turned down. I mean, I heard the volume go down and followed up asking the police what they had on record, but only that they said that they turned the volume down. This occurred in a week in which there were 3 outdoor amplified music events on that property, one of which ran all day. And like we heard from this gentleman who, has light spill over to his property, we have noise spill open to our properties. He can't sit in peace outside. I can't sit in peace outside. Can't open windows to enjoy the night lake breeze because when the concert is on, this loud amplified music. I've communicated with City of Monona staff, and my understanding is that no permit is being required for these outdoor concerts, and that the only condition is that they end at 9 p.m. Most of them have. I'd argue that there need to be some conditions on a use like this in residential neighborhood. I've spoken with the organizers of the concert at the Eastside Club, and he talks about family music programs, like this is some guy with a banjo on his knee, But that's not what we're talking about here. These are outdoor rock concerts. I walked over to the park adjacent to the Eastside Club's property on the night of the 24th, and there was very few people there, and the band was playing very loudly. And most of all, the stage was positioned so that it faced into the neighborhood, not out to the lake, so that there was nothing else could occur but this loud music to wash over the adjacent neighborhood. The neighbors of this facility deserve a more thoughtful treatment than this. And since the operators of the facility don't seem to be, about to provide it, it falls to the city to address such things as stage placement, volume, and hours and frequency of these concerts. I would think, too, that the city would benefit from some more thoughtful regulation than to let this one liquor license holder have carte blanche about outdoor music concerts. I mean, what kind of legal position would the city be in if some other liquor license holders, understandably, wanted the same treatment and the same kind of carte blanche to just have as many outdoor amplified rock concerts on their property as they could muster? Please impose some conditions on these open-air concerts in a residential neighborhood.
So this would fall under, I believe, License Review Committee. Alder Wood is the chair of that committee. Do you know when you might have a meeting coming up that
Well, we meet next Tuesday, right?
next
We are going to
Tuesday?
have a meeting.
So again, I would extend, because this all starts at the committee level with our ordinances and regulation. And I think that would probably be your best next step, not first step. Tonight's your first step or second step. But and then to go through and I think share these same concerns with that committee.
Right.
Do you agree?
Sure. We meet at 4 o'clock on the
I think it's the 13th.
13th at City Hall.
At City Hall.
Is it the case that there's no conditions on this?
I don't, I'd have to look at their alcohol license to the conditions on that.
There's conditions.
There
on
are
it,
conditions.
but-
I don't know for sure off the top of my head what they are. But
They're unique to each
You'll have them by
establishment
that.
or each license?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm asking Alder
Well,
Wood if they're unique to each
they-
establishment?
they do vary, yes. So, I mean, the time limits, well, I don't know, but the time limits are I think by ordinance, but we also impose the conditions in the license. But, you know, we can look into it.
And there's
see.
also sound levels
Right.
by
And
dB.
perhaps the placement of the stage. I
Right,
was
right.
very surprised to see it facing in towards the neighborhood.
Nope. I
Thank you
think
so
that
much.
would be a fruitful meeting for you to attend.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I will declare the public hearing section closed. The consent agenda, I have to recuse myself because there's somebody with a similar name to the mayor on here, so I will turn the gavel over to the council president, Alder Thomas.
Move to item F, consent agenda. Is there a motion for approval?
Move approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Do I have to give it back to you now?
Please.
Oh, no.
Please, please. Quickly, I want to take it back. No
It's-
discussion is necessary on the applicants.
Well, there's no discussion on consent, so
Yeah,
it's
so-
approved. So
Nope.
it's yours now.
It's just a fine slate of personnel there that have been fully vetted. Item G, the mayor got a bartender's license is why, okay. Yeah, that's why this banter. Item G, council action items. There's no unfinished business this evening. There's no new business this evening. Under item H is reports of committees. Alder Holmquist.
No report, except it's really budget conversations going on at the committee level. So trying to get all those scheduled, particularly with some of the committees that don't meet as frequent.
Alder Thomas.
No report.
Alder Bussey.
From Plan Commission, I noticed some of the may have noticed some of the wayfinding signs have popped up.
They're beautiful.
And I just want to say that there's no truth to the rumor that the purpose of the wayfinding signs is so that the mayor can find his way to work. So,
I've been going all these years to City Hall the wrong way, I learned this week. So now I follow the signs. It cuts like a half hour off of my drive. So. Alder O'Connor.
Landmarks Commission is meeting on Wednesday at 4:30 and the Community Media Committee on Thursday at 6 o'clock.
And I might just add to your community media, those of you who get in business, it's a featured article, one more, for WVMO, the voice of Monona, 98.7 on your FM dial. A really nice story in there, too. Everyone who's involved, again, I tip my hat to all you do. Alder Spate.
Parks and Rec meets tomorrow night, 6:30.
Alder Wood.
Library Board is meeting tomorrow night at 7 and be discussing the operational budget.
City Clerk.
I just wanted to alert residents, Mayor Miller, that there's a group that's mailing out registration forms, and they're being mailed to people. I've had a person who's deceased. I've had persons whose names are spelled differently, but then they are registered. Please know that you are registered if you think you are. If you think there's a question, please call me at City Hall, 222-2525. Let's check it out. You do not have to respond to this mailing. This is by a group that would like to generate some voter interest, and it's not a bad thing, but this is not sent from City Hall, and so I am not questioning your registration. City Hall does not mail anything regarding elections to individuals. So unless it's to you, if there was an issue directly to you, it's not a mass mailing kind of thing that's done by City Hall. So just be aware that that's just a mailing. You don't have to respond. It's not questioning your ability to vote or your registration status. And if you have any questions, just please call me.
In regard to that, and again, putting in a plug for the radio station, I hear you appearing quite often explaining the process, and it seems very clear on how in the various forms.
For the
if
photo
people
ID.
aren't listening to the radio station, can they go to our website to find the same information that you shared on there?
Our website does have information, Mayor Miller, on the voter photo ID. Yes.
Great job.
Uh,
Yes.
Is there something going on this weekend in Monona
Yep.
that
Yeah, I
somebody's
was
going to
gonna
talk
mention
about?
Okay, you're going to mention Fall Festival?
Yeah. You can.
No, you can go ahead.
No, you do it.
There is, I'll just say there is the Fall Festival is this weekend. So it's going to be a busy weekend in Monona. We have the Fall Festival on Saturday and Sunday. We have the open house for the fire department on Sunday. We have the chili cook-off, which is on Saturday, and I believe, I don't know what the library's, the pie
That's the book sale.
book sale.
Book sale and the Pie Palooza.
Yep.
And Hoot Hoot Hustle
Is
is
this weekend.
first thing in the morning, the children's running race.
So
Their forecast is good.
So come on down, enjoy it. There is information on the website too, and take a look at that. Just one thing, Capital Committee of the Whole will get a agenda out. That is next Tuesday. We'll start at 6 o'clock with that. And then the budgets, we have one more meeting tomorrow for the Capital, and we'll have everything kind of put together. We'll get to you by Thursday or Friday. You'll get your books. Budgets are due on the 16th of October, the operating budgets, and we're meeting with the mayor and sit down with that, and we should have those out not too long after that. We'll plan on committee of whole on Monday and Wednesday of the last week of October. Public safety was going to be the last Wednesday, but they moved their meeting date, so there should be no conflict with that one. But we'll get some dates out again tomorrow just to double check with everybody.
Well said. Oh, Alder Spate.
So
and
just to
Alder
clarify the process, since I will be missing both committee of the whole meetings, all voting will happen at our second reading at council meetings?
Yeah, so we'll have a first read in November and a second read in November. First meeting in November and a second.
Got it. Okay, so that's just
on operating budget.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
I will
Alder
also
O'Connor.
miss the first committee of the whole meeting on the 26th.
Okay. I'll double check again, see if we can.
Yeah, Mark was sharing with me, somebody was missing at every possible day in the end, so I just said do the best you can to get the best attendance for the days with the least amount of conflict with committee meetings, so check that again to make sure that it's the best days. All right, I had nothing to add. I would enter their appointments. The Kitzler. We have 4 appointments for committees. Joe Fontaine to the Police and Fire Commission, Andrew Kitzler for both Sustainability and Public Safety, and Dan Eckloff to the Facilities Committee. Is there a motion for approval of this slate?
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of their appointment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Appointments have been approved. Now I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting's adjourned. Thanks, everyone.